welcome back to my channel. My name is Jodie, and in this video I'm going to continue on my my top 10 films by a certain actor series. So this is the second video in that series, and for this video I just decided to cover the incredible Meryl Streep. So yeah, Meryl Streep is pretty much it's kind of widely accepted that she is just an incredible actress, and yeah, she definitely is. She just has such a wide range of fantastic films, and she has like a very wide range kind of as an actress as well. There's a lot of kind of different characters that she's played, and in a lot of kind of different kind of types of genre films. So yeah, I said I would pick out 10 of my favorite Meryl Streep films that I have in my collection, and then there's a couple of honorable mentions at the end as well that I will get to. But I just want to say as well from the outset, there are two kind of big ones that she's been in that I haven't seen yet, which is a crime. So just if anyone is in the comments wondering why they're not on my list, it's because I haven't seen them yet. But there are two films that I definitely want to get around to seeing, and the first one being The French Lieutenant's Woman. I do have it on DVD but haven't watched it yet, and the second one is probably The Biggest Crime, given that I'm such a huge 70s movie fan. But yeah, I haven't seen The Deer Hunter yet either, so I think that was her kind of first film role, and yeah, I haven't got around to it yet either. So definitely two films that I'm anticipating kind of getting to watch in the very near future, but they're just not on this list now because I haven't seen them. But there's still a lot of really great films to go through anyway. So without further ado, I'm just going to crack on with my top 10. So these aren't in any particular order either, these are just kind of in the order that I'm picking them up off the pile. But the first title that I just had to go with, this is an absolutely gorgeous romance film. It's from the year 1995, and it is The Beautiful Bridges of Madison County with Clint Eastwood. And yeah, this one is directed by Clint Eastwood as well. So this is just an absolutely gorgeous, as I said, kind of romance film. It is basically the story of a romance between a photographer played by Clint Eastwood. He basically kind of goes around the country taking photos of bridges, and he meets the this kind of lonely housewife character played by Meryl Streep. And yeah, they basically enter into a very kind of intense love affair that lasts like a few days, and yeah, it's just like really intense, really moving. The performances in this are just absolutely stunning. The script, everything, the story is just absolutely beautiful. And you just really, I think when you have a story like this, and then you have just two incredible actors as well kind of pulling it off, it just really works, and it's really believable as a love story. So yeah, this is an absolutely gorgeous film. Yeah, it's just so very kind of believable and very genuine. So yeah, if you haven't seen Bridges of Madison County, definitely highly recommend this one if you love your I guess your love stories, romances, and then just with some beautiful like dramatic performances as well. You just can't go wrong with this film. And then next, another really incredible dramatic film, and this one is based off a play by John Patrick Shanley, and it's also screenplay is also written by him and it's directed by him as well. And it is this one, Doubt. And yeah, this is a fantastic, just like if you're looking for a film with just really incredible solid dramatic performances, like this one is just absolutely incredible. So not only do you have Meryl Streep, you have Philip Seymour Hoffman just delivering an absolutely fantastic performance as well. So this is basically set in like a church run school, and Meryl Streep's character, she's basically a nun, and she is the principal of the school. And they kind of set it out very early on in the film that she is like a proper hard ass. Like she doesn't kind of tolerate any bullshit, any nonsense in the school, and she's very strict, and you know, she kind of reprimands basically all the kids for like the smallest things. So we kind of get this impression that she's kind of a bit of a bitch really. And then the Philip Seymour Hoffman character, he basically plays a priest in the school, and Meryl Streep's character starts kind of getting very suspicious about him, that he's getting really close to one particular student. And I guess the kind of whole crux of the story is that, you know, she's kind of taking a very strong interest in kind of seeing what's going on between the relationship between the priest and the little boy. And we kind of have to, I guess, try as an audience to kind of decide is this kind of one of her crusades, or is there something like genuine kind of going on, something like genuinely insidious going on behind the scenes? And it's a really fantastic screenplay, and really well acted, really well, the characters are really well developed all the way through, and it's just another one. It's one of these great films that leaves the audience to kind of make up their mind, and to kind of decide how they feel at the end of the film. It's a very kind of ambiguous film, but I really like that in a film. Like I like when we're kind of trusted to kind of make a decision as to what might have happened. And yeah, it's all acted and everything really well. There is a supporting performance in this as well from Viola Davis, and she is just absolutely fantastic in it as well. Like every performance is just absolutely incredible. So if you're interested in, like, as I said, really strong dramatic films, excellent performances, and that kind of really, I guess it's like a tough subject matter, but it's told in a really unique way. I definitely think this is a great film to check out if you haven't seen it. Yeah, really, really strong film, great performances, as I said, and yeah, just a really good one, and had to be in my top 10. So Doubt is the next one. Next is something definitely a lot lighter, and this is a film I actually only saw, I think, in the last year, and it's already become like one of my favorite comedy films. And this is just such a hilarious movie. The movie is Death Becomes Her. Yeah, this is just such a fun, kind of dark, kind of twisted, kind of what would you call it, like a magical comedy film. So essentially, it centers around the relationship between the two, the two main female characters played by Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn, and essentially, kind of at varying times throughout the film, they're both in relationships with the main male character, played by Bruce Willis, and yeah, they're kind of fighting over him. He kind of goes out with both of them, and they kind of get very jealous, and essentially, the Meryl Streep character kind of finds out about this kind of like magic elixir that will basically prevent her from getting old, and will kind of start to reverse some of the aging process, and basically kind of make her youthful and beautiful forever. And she decides to go ahead and take this with very hilarious kind of results. This film is, yeah, it is genuinely hilarious. It is full of just so many just iconic lines, and incredible like slapstick kind of performances as well. Like Meryl Streep, obviously she's known for her very kind of dramatic performances, but I think just her comedic timing in this is so impressive. There's some kind of sight gags and everything that she does that are just like visually just so funny. And she really pulls it off. The facial expressions, just everything about this is just so well done. Just visually, this is a gorgeous film as well. This one is directed by Robert Zemeckis, and yeah, it's from the year 1992, so it just has a very 90s kind of feeling, but it's so rewatchable. I only kind of rewatched this one recently, and yeah, it's just absolutely brilliant, and so funny, and just such an easy watch, and something that just keeps you so entertained. So another one that I just couldn't do a Meryl Streep list without including this one, Death Becomes Her. Then next we have kind of back to definitely a much more dramatic film role for Meryl Streep, and this one is another kind of recent watch for me, and one that I kind of briefly talked about in a pickups video maybe like a month or two ago, and it is this one, A Cry in the Dark, and this is one of the many kind of Best Actress nominated performances for Meryl Streep, and this one, it's based off a true story, and she's basically playing a true person, a real life person, and she's basically playing the character of a mother whose child is eaten by a dingo, and she's basically accused of murder because the child is literally kind of missing, and she basically has to kind of prove in a court of law that she didn't commit the crime, and that it was a dingo that ate the baby. Yeah, it was kind of basically like one of these cases that was really kind of highlighted in like the media and everything, I think, because it was such a fascinating case, and it was kind of so I guess kind of unbelievable and so fantastical that you know, it was really kind of latched onto, and kind of the Meryl Streep character and her husband were really kind of under the microscope, I guess, when all this happened. And they kind of portray that kind of thing in the film, and it's really well done. This film is, yeah, it is a very tough watch. It's very, very stressful, very yeah, very dark in parts, but again, just another fantastic dramatic performance from Meryl Streep. I did kind of mention, I think, in the video where I picked this up, that I thought she did a fantastic Australian accent. To me, it sounds really good, but someone pointed out in the comments, an Australian person pointed out in the comments that it was a really bad accent. So obviously, like, my ear for Australian accents is not the best. I guess maybe when, you know, you're not from a certain country, maybe it sounds better, but obviously it doesn't have the Australian seal of approval anyway, not from my comments. So I'll leave the kind of jury out on that one to see whether it was a good accent or not. But to me, to the untrained Irish ear, the accent sounded pretty good. So yeah, I'll kind of leave it up to you to see what you think. But yeah, I think the performance itself is just absolutely fantastic, and the story, really, really fascinating story. And it's one of these kind of roles that, for Meryl Streep, as such a famous actress, that kind of doesn't get kind of highlighted or talked about as much. So definitely one, I think, if you're a big Meryl fan and if you haven't seen this one, definitely a good one to check out. So yeah, A Cry in the Dark, fantastic film. Then another quite dramatic role. This is just an incredible film, in my opinion. This one directed by Mike Nichols. It's from 1983, and it is this one, Silkwood. So yeah, I've been unable to get like a proper DVD copy of this film. So this is the only copy I've kind of been able to get my hands on. Like, it's crazy out of print. Yeah, it's just like the only kind of copies I can find online are like Korean or like Chinese or something. So yeah, this is basically the best I can do, but I'm just really happy to have a physical media copy of this film, because it is, again, it's just another fantastic one. So this film, it basically centers around the character played by Meryl Streep, called Karen Silkwood. And yeah, she and her boyfriend, played by Kurt Russell, and her friend, played by Cher, they all work basically in a nuclear power plant, and the plant basically produces like plutonium. And one day in work, Karen basically gets exposed to like a really, really high dose of radiation due to basically some kind of company negligence. And essentially, basically, the prognosis is not good. And obviously, like, when you are exposed to that much radiation, you know, it's kind of like a downhill kind of in terms of your health, it's like a downhill kind of battle, really. So kind of when she learns of this, she tries her best to basically hold the plant to account. But she kind of finds out that I guess kind of holding the powers that be to account is a lot easier said than done. And so yeah, it's an incredible film of like kind of her, I guess, her kind of trying to take this case further and further and further, and basically trying to fight a battle that is basically just, it's so hard to win. But yeah, just her performance as this character. I know this is actually based on a real life story and a real life person. So her performance in this is just absolutely fantastic, and she really, really sells it. Yeah, it just another really, really strong one. I love this film. It's very kind of bleak in parts, but you know, the characters and everything are very realistic, very kind of gritty, and everything feels so real about this film. But I just think it's incredible. But it's very, like, you know, if you're looking for like a happy story, this is definitely not it. There's a lot of despair, a lot of kind of sadness in this film, but it's just a story that's a very important story to tell, but it's told really, really well as well. So yeah, just another absolute classic film. Yeah, if you haven't seen Silkwood, you definitely have to watch it. Again, as I said, I don't know how you can kind of find a copy, maybe find a secondhand copy or something like that. But yeah, definitely try to get your hands on a copy of Silkwood. You definitely won't regret it. And then from one quite bleak film to another just really, really sad film, and really, yeah, another really depressing film, but a fantastic film. And that is, of course, Sophie's Choice. Yeah, you can't really talk about Meryl Streep without talking about Sophie's Choice and just how phenomenal she is in this film. This is definitely just one of those like all-timer kind of performances by like any actress. Yeah, it is just a really like an acting kind of masterclass in this film. So yeah, as I said, another very, very depressing film. So this one is based on it's basically about the character of Sophie, played by Meryl Streep, who is a survivor of the Holocaust. And as you can probably tell by the title, there was a very kind of heart-wrenching choice that she had to make while she was in a concentration camp. And so she was completely, obviously, kind of scarred by that kind of decision she had to make. And now, kind of after the Holocaust is over, she is in New York, and she's basically in this relationship with this guy played by Kevin Kline, and he is just like a very kind of erratic character. And obviously she's like in a very vulnerable state, kind of having gone through what she went through. And yeah, it's kind of about their relationship. And then there's this writer who basically kind of befriends the couple as well, played by Peter MacNicol, who, by the way, they're all both of those actors, Kevin Kline and Peter MacNicol, are fantastic as well in this. But they all kind of form this kind of friendship. And yeah, everything, not everything is as I guess as kind of lovely and happy and joyful as it seems. Like everyone is kind of dealing with kind of past traumas and everything like that. So yeah, as you can imagine, this is just such a dark film, but again, it's just acted absolutely beautifully by Meryl Streep and by the other actors in the film as well. So this one, just for some context, it's from 1982, and it's directed by Alan J. Pakula, who is just, he's one of my favorite directors, to be honest. He has just come out with some absolutely incredible films, and this one is a lot more just a lot more kind of delicate, and yeah, just a lot different kind of from maybe some of his earlier films, but just really, really well directed. A really beautiful film, absolutely heart-wrenching, heartbreaking, everything. It's just yeah, it's a tough watch, but you can't help but just deny how moving it is. And then again, just I have to just reiterate again, the performances in this are incredible. So yeah, want to kind of go into with a bit of caution. You have to be definitely in the right frame of mind for this film, but yeah, a fantastic film nonetheless. So yeah, Sophie's Choice had to be on the list. So next, just moving off the kind of depressing films, just for a minute at least. So the next film is one of my favourite romantic comedy films, and yeah, I don't watch a lot of romantic comedies, but I definitely have a soft spot for kind of romantic comedies and romantic films, like with kind of like an older cast. So kind of actors that, you know, I love their films from like the 70s and stuff, and just kind of seeing them, you know, kind of as more kind of mature, kind of seasoned actors, basically kind of doing kind of romantic films in their kind of older years. There's something about those kind of films that I really love, and they're the kind of rom-coms that I kind of find myself coming back to. So there's one in particular that like just has massive rewatchability for me, and it's one with Meryl Streep and Tommy Lee Jones, and it is this one, Hope Springs. This is just such a cute movie. This one I actually only rewatched again the other day. I've seen this a good few times now, and it's just one I really enjoy. So essentially it's about a couple played by obviously Meryl Streep and Tommy Lee Jones, and the Meryl Streep character, she is like, they're married for like 31 years or something like that, and the Meryl Streep character is basically she's kind of starting to feel lonely, and she kind of starts feeling like that she's kind of missing the kind of intimacy in her marriage, and the Tommy Lee Jones character, like he's basically kind of shut himself off. He's sleeping in another room. You know, they don't really kind of have much kind of conversations anymore. There's no intimacy, there's no kind of connection really in their relationship anymore. So the Meryl character basically decides that she's gonna basically pay for this kind of intensive kind of couples therapy in Maine. So she books the flights and everything like that, books the tickets, and after like a lot of kind of protestations from her husband, they basically go to these kind of intense kind of therapy sessions, and Steve Carell basically plays the kind of marriage counselor in it. And kind of what we kind of get is, I guess, we kind of get to learn kind of, I guess, the root cause of why there's this kind of disconnect in their relationship, and I guess kind of learn a lot more about the characters and kind of watch as they try to, I guess, explore their relationship and kind of explore kind of new things in the bedroom and everything like that. And it's a lot of fun. It's just such a, yeah, it's such a cute, like, fun movie, but there's a lot of really kind of poignant moments in it as well. A lot of things we learn about the characters that are really kind of, yeah, like that you kind of feel bad for them both in kind of for kind of different reasons. And yeah, it's just a really sweet film. The performances, again, like, it's Meryl Streep, Tommy Lee Jones, so of course they do just great jobs at kind of selling the characters. And yeah, it's just a really fun, really rewatchable kind of sweet film, and it's just one that I just really enjoy. It's like perfect for yeah, it's like a perfect kind of just Saturday night film with a glass of wine, some snacks, and it's just a really easy one just to kind of relax and enjoy. So yeah, it's one that I really rate, and one that I'll definitely keep coming back to in the future. So yeah, Hope Springs is the next one. So then next is one that Meryl Streep won Best Actress for, along with Sophie's Choice. I forgot to mention she won Best Actress for Sophie's Choice, but this is another one. I think this was her last Oscar that she won. And this film is, to be honest, it's one that I personally actually didn't like for a while. The first couple of times I watched it, I didn't really like it, and it's only kind of more so as I've kind of grown to really like Meryl Streep, that this film has kind of grown on me a lot. And yeah, it's probably not one that's for everyone, but yeah, I've grown to really really like and really appreciate this film. And it is The Iron Lady, where of course Meryl Streep takes on the character of Margaret Thatcher. And yeah, I think the reason that I didn't initially like this film is I don't know, I think maybe I kind of expected more that, you know, that the film about Margaret Thatcher would be a lot more kind of political and kind of going through her like political career, whereas this film, there's a lot of kind of, I guess, scenes of her kind of final days, and her, you know, kind of struggling with kind of issues with kind of like dementia and that kind of thing. And I guess yeah, I think it's just a certain direction that they took the film that maybe I would have might have kind of preferred to see a lot more, I guess, politics in it. Whereas this one was a lot more, I guess it was kind of a lot more sentimental than maybe what I kind of wanted it to be. But I guess when you just kind of take it for what it is, and when you see the actual performance that Meryl Streep gives, yeah, I've actually grown to appreciate this film a lot more. And I just think just for the performance itself, I just think it has to be on a Meryl Streep list. So yeah, this is basically the biopic of Margaret Thatcher, and basically kind of tells how she how she started her career in politics, and how she essentially kind of did kind of overcome a lot in order to kind of get to where she got and to become like the first female prime minister of obviously the United Kingdom. So yeah, it's like, I mean, I know everyone in the comments is going to have like their own kind of opinion on the person Margaret Thatcher and kind of her politics and all that kind of thing, but I think if you just take it at face value that, like, you know, for a woman to kind of have done what she did at that time, and to kind of be competing in such in a male dominated field such as politics, you know, to kind of have reached the heights that she did, I think it's definitely a story that's really worth telling. And I'm really glad that you know, a film like this exists, that we kind of get to learn more about Margaret Thatcher, and I guess just kind of see how her kind of career unfolded. Yeah, I think the real star of this film is just has to be Meryl's performance. I just feel like she absolutely like vanishes into the character of Margaret Thatcher, like at kind of all stages of her career and her life, like even from the young to the old, she just manages to, I feel like she captures the kind of essence of Margaret Thatcher and kind of who she was. So I was thoroughly impressed by the performance. Kind of more I watch it, the more kind of impressed I am by it, and the more the actual film kind of grows on me. For all its kind of shortcomings, I think, as a film, it definitely kind of has grown on me, just kind of, I think, by virtue of that performance. So yeah, a pretty divisive film, probably because she's such a divisive kind of figure. But I'd be interested to know what other people think of this film, because I know it's definitely one that kind of gets a lot of mixed reviews. But again, I just think it's such a strong performance, and of course the fact that she won the Oscar and everything for it, obviously it did make a big impact at the time. So yeah, I'd be interested to hear what anyone else thinks. But yeah, I just couldn't not include the Iron Lady in this list. So yeah. So then next is probably my number one favorite Meryl Streep movie, and it's probably comes as no surprise to anyone who's watched my channel for any length of time that this is my number one pick. But yeah, I just absolutely adore this film, and it is the incredible Kramer versus Kramer. Yeah, of course, I'm such a huge Dustin Hoffman fan, so of course this had to be on my list. But I think both main actors in this film just give sensational performances. So this film, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's a family drama. It's essentially the story of a couple, Ted and Joanna Kramer. And basically the kind of drama starts when Joanna basically tells her husband Ted that she's walking out on him, and that he's to keep the kid. She just has to leave. She's going to go insane if she doesn't leave him. She doesn't love him anymore, and she just has to go. And this basically, like, kind of, as you can imagine, just kind of throws his whole life into a tailspin. He's like a very kind of career orientated person, and then all of a sudden his wife has left him. He now has to kind of take full responsibility for the child, and also has to kind of deal with his career as well, which is kind of doing really well. And so it's like a kind of crazy situation that he's in. So then throughout the film we kind of see how the character of Ted kind of deals with all this, and how his relationship with his child kind of develops as you know, he's basically like a single parent. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful film to watch, and just to kind of see their relationship kind of blossom and kind of unfold is just, it's just such a delight to watch. And Dustin Hoffman's performance, of course, is just absolutely incredible in this as well. So everything kind of seems to be kind of working out, and then the real kind of drama kicks in then when Joanna, the Meryl Streep character, decides to come back and say that actually I do want my kid back, I want custody of him. And they basically end up having to go to court to fight for the kid, and things get really nasty. So yeah, it is just an absolutely sensational drama film, and probably just has to be one of the best kind of family dramas, with, you know, the kind of courtroom element in it as well. Yeah, the character development of all the characters is just absolutely incredible. There's a lot of really sad scenes, really heartbreaking scenes, a lot of really funny scenes. It's just such a kind of roller coaster of emotions, but it's just one of the most incredibly acted films that I've ever seen. It's just yeah, it's just absolutely incredible. And then of course, this being a Meryl Streep list, I do have to kind of just highlight that yeah, even though the Meryl Streep character, she's not the most likable character in this, but I feel like Meryl Streep just does such an incredible job of kind of selling the character, and really I guess just kind of really giving us kind of reason to maybe to kind of understand her a little bit more, and kind of really takes us as the audience kind of into her thought process, and into her kind of desperation and everything like that. She does a fantastic job in this film. And she wasn't, like, I think she had only done like one or two films prior to this as well, but like her performance and everything in it is just so mature. It's just so fantastic. And Yeah, she just gives an incredible performance in it. So yeah, like it just goes without saying, if you haven't seen Kramer versus Kramer, it is just up there with one of the best dramatic films ever in my opinion. But yeah, definitely one that you have to check out. It's pretty easy to come by as well, but it is absolutely sensational. So I just had to include it on this list. And then the final film for my top 10 Meryl Streep films is a Sydney Pollack film, that another one that is just absolutely sensational. So this one is probably a lot different from a lot of other Sydney Pollack films in that it's very kind of epic in its style, but still such a beautiful film. And it is this one, Out of Africa. So yeah, this one, it reminds me of kind of like a David Lean film. It's just very epic, very sprawling, very kind of sweeping landscapes. Yeah, just really beautiful performances, gorgeous kind of set pieces, really beautiful scenery. Yeah, just such a stunning film to watch, and like an epic film in that it does have a pretty long run time. I think this one is, it's probably nearly 3 hours, 161 minutes. So what's that, like 2.5 hours, something like that. So but yeah, a really fantastic, just kind of just one of these movies that you can just kind of watch and just totally kind of get lost. So yeah, this film, it's based on a book by Karen Blixen, and essentially she was a Danish woman who moved obviously from Denmark out to Africa, basically to be with her husband. And when she gets there, she basically kind of works on a farm, and that's how she kind of earns her living and everything like that. And while she's out there, she kind of falls in love with this kind of like adventurer kind of character, who in the film is played by Robert Redford. And like she just gets totally like kind of swept up in this kind of romance. And yeah, just the romantic kind of relationship between the two characters is really gorgeous to watch. It's just told really beautifully. And he kind of, I guess it's kind of just one of these kind of love stories that he kind of opens her eyes to a lot of new experiences, and you know, kind of takes her out of the kind of I guess the day-to-day kind of, you know, mundane kind of life, and kind of opens her eyes to kind of what kind of romance could be like, kind of thing. You know, it's quite cliche, but it really works. And yeah, the kind of the chemistry and everything between Meryl and Robert Redford in this is absolutely gorgeous. And I think one of the main elements of this this film that I just absolutely love is the score from John Barry. So yeah, the score is just absolutely gorgeous all the way throughout. Like it's another reason it reminds me of like a David Lean film, like Dr. Zhivago or something, because it just has this kind of beautiful kind of motif kind of music that runs through it, that's really it just kind of gets in your ear, and then really kind of starts to I guess kind of inform the rest of the film. Like when you hear the score, you just, all these kind of emotions kind of come up. So yeah, it's just one of those really beautiful scores. And there's one scene in particular where Robert Redford takes Meryl into an airplane, and they kind of go on an airplane ride basically, and there is just one of the most beautiful pieces of music that's playing in the background that just yeah, it just like invokes like this gorgeous kind of sense of adventure and just sense of romance. And it's just, oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's just a superb piece of filmmaking. Again, just really like evocative of like earlier kind of epic films from like, you know, like the 50s and that kind of thing. Really, yeah, just a really gorgeous film. Just one that you can just watch and just get totally like swept away in the kind of drama and kind of the fantasy of it. So yeah, a film that I absolutely adore. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it, especially if, as I said, you're a fan of those kind of big kind of epic films. And yeah, this one is just absolutely incredible, an amazing Sydney Pollack film with great performances. So yeah, Out of Africa is the last film on the list. So yeah, they are my 10 Meryl Streep picks. So here's my little stack. So yeah, they are the top 10 movies that I picked with Meryl Streep. So as I said, I do need to still watch French Lieutenant's Woman and The Deer Hunter, so I think I will get on those sooner rather than later. But just before I end the video, I do just want to just talk about a really quick couple of honourable mentions, because again, she just has so many incredible films, and I just kind of want to just talk about as many as I possibly can. So I'll just really quickly go through some honourable mentions. So This one is a fantastic kind of action adventure crime film in the River Wild. Another really fantastic family drama with Diane Keaton and Leonardo DiCaprio, Marvin's Room. Another family drama, this time with kind of like a rock music kind of twist, and this one also stars Rick Springfield and then Mamie Gummer, who is Meryl's real life daughter, and it is this one, Ricky and the Flash. This one is a Wes Craven directed film where Meryl Streep plays a violin teacher in a disadvantaged school, and it is this one, Music of the Heart. Love that one. And then finally, another just really fun kind of rom-com, Nancy Meyers directed film that's just a really fun, easy rewatch, and it's this one, It's Complicated. So yeah, that is the video. That is all my top 10 Meryl Streep films and my honourable mentions. So yeah, if you are still watching this video, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So please leave a comment down below and let me know what your favourite Meryl Streep film is, or if there's any from this list that you want to check out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next video. Bye!